All right, so our first review of the day is going to be for the film The Wedding Banquet. The Wedding Banquet is a remake of the 1993 Ang Lee film there. People might know Ang Lee. He did Brokeback Mountain. He's done the Hulk film there. So he had a film that was like one of his very, very first films, actually, was 1993 Wedding Banquet film. Have you ever seen 1993's Wedding Banquet there, Chris?
I have not seen the original. Going into the movie, coming out of the movie, I found out it was a remake of a '90s film of a very similar plot. The gentleman is a gay man, and he's enjoying his life in America. Relatives are saying, "Hey, it's been a few years. We let you do your thing. What's going on? Okay, we're coming. We're coming now. Like you have no time to prepare." So he has to like either ask a friend or find a woman to be his put on this facade that he's marrying a woman and he's staying in America, So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Looking at this woman, I mean, he didn't turn back to the other side. He was like, well, maybe being straight, maybe I want to rethink it. I don't know. This woman's pretty fine in here. So yeah, you're right. So it's a very kind of similar premise there that you got here, except for a gay man as the lead, you have a lesbian woman who's the lead here.
Yes.
And the lesbian lead in here is Marie Tran. And this people might know Marie Tran. She was in Rise of Skywalker there. She was in The Last Jedi there. And she was also the voice in the cartoon Raya. She was in that Raya the Last Dragon as well.
I love that movie, by the way. I'm glad you mentioned it. I love Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah, good old Raya there. You also have Lily Gladstone there. People might know Lily Gladstone, who plays the girlfriend of Marie Tran there. People might know her from Killers of the Flower Moon. And both of them are trying to conceive a baby there. Well, actually, one of them is trying to conceive a baby, Lily Gladstone there, through IVF, and they're struggling. In the movie, you see that when on their second attempt of IVF, it failed, and the doctor is recommending, well, usually we only recommend to people 3 times is the number of attempts you want to do, and plus the high cost of doing IVF, which I looked up in after the movie. I was like, well, how much it is the cost to do IVF? And it's like $12,000 to $30,000 there to do it. So it's a very expensive procedure. And so you have
because you're inserting an embryo, right?
Yeah, because it's like the sperm and the egg, and then you're inserting into the body, and then I think if it gets more expensive if you want to like build a baby, if you want to pick the gender and the eye color and all that other stuff like that. It gets all kind of
that's crazy.
So they're on their second attempt. It failed. They have to do a third one. So they're trying to debate whether or not they want to do an attempt to do a third one or not. But lucky enough, they have 2 gay men who live in their. They call it a guest house, but it's a garage. They live in a garage. Like they call it, it's like, oh hey, they're sleeping in our guest house. Like this is a fucking garage here. But they have 2 gay men, one who played by Bowen Yang there, who people might know. He is a recurring cast member on SNL. He's been in some other things. He was just recently in Wicked Part 1 there. He was the lackey of Ariana Grande's character there. And then also he have his boyfriend in there, who plays Han Ji Chen, who plays Min there, who's his boyfriend. And it turns out his boyfriend is really rich. Comes from a very rich family in Korea there. And he has his grandmother there, Yuh-jung there, who people might know. She was the grandmother in Minari, and she won an Oscar for her performance. And it's kind of a similar situation where he has to put on a facade there of pretending he's in a relationship with Marie Tran, and it's like a deal that gets worked out between them. It's like, hey, if you pretend to be my wife, and well, actually not even pretend, we are going to actually go through with the whole thing and get married, so I can have a green card, so I can stay in America. But this Trump's America, that won't work now. He's like, nah, you ain't staying no more. Nah, that ain't working.
I don't care if you're married. You're both leaving.
You're both leaving. In fact, both of you go get out. So he tries to work out a deal. He goes like, I'll pay for your IVF if you help me, kind of pass this thing with my grandmother, stay in America. And, obviously his grandmother and grandparents are very old school Korean, very kind of traditional, conservative. So, he knows they wouldn't approve if he did get married to a man. And then I forgot to mention one of my favorite people of the cast right here, who I think really is very stellar in this movie, Joan Chen, who I saw in Dee Dee there in that film. I loved her in Dee Dee. I thought she was robbed. I thought she should have got nominated for
For
her performance.
sure, absolutely. Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, I thought she definitely should have got nominated for that performance there. But yeah, she plays the mother of Kelly Marie Tran. And from the trailer there from this movie, you think it's kind of more of an upbeat, kind of wacky type comedy of errors a little
Yeah,
bit.
like a millennial rom com.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of crying in this movie. There's a lot of confrontation. There's a lot of
A lot of
characters,
drama.
a lot of drama, kind of drama
Yeah,
for your mama. There are two mamas there.
yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
definitely a rom dram, more than rom com.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But Chris, what are your thoughts on the wedding banquet?
There's humor sprinkled around, but yeah, going into it, very similar. Um, I saw.
What?
Whoa,
Everything all right? Is everything all right?
am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, my screen went black for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I still see you.
Um. Yeah. So this past weekend, I saw Sinners and Wedding Banquet, and then weekend before I saw Warfare, and for the same reason, I was attracted to the cast. I love Kelly Marie Tran. I love Lily Gladstone, who I first met from Reservation Dogs. She was Willie Jack's. They say like two different like relationship like names. Like, oh, this is my cousin brother. So like she was like her sister auntie or whatever. So that was my introduction to Lily Gladstone, and then um, Killers of the Flower Moon, a film I didn't love, but I loved her in it, even though she was bedridden for like an hour of it. Um, Whatever. And then Bowen Yang, yeah, he's like one of the stars, like one of the shining stars right now of SNL. There's always like a shining star in the cast. He's in like other things, and yeah, the grandma from Minari, and yeah, the mom from Dee Dee, the entire cast. I loved it. And I loved the film. I was just surprised. I'm in the theater thinking this is not that funny. This is really dramatic, and so as an audience member, I'm watching something. Me personally, I've never been persecuted or felt like othered because of my sexuality. So that's an experience I'll never have. So, there were things going on in this film that I knew I couldn't personally relate to, but I could empathize with. So and like I said on Letterbox, it's still very millennial. These characters are late 20s, early 30s. Um, Lily Gladstone's character, getting into light spoilers, she's the older, she's later 30s, which is why it's harder for her to succeed with carrying a child, because um, the biological clock is a theme throughout the
Mhm.
film. Mommy issues, or issues with your parents, trauma, is a reoccurring theme, and with and then with the two guys, it's approaching married life, getting cold feet. If you love them, why can't you say yes when they ask you to marry them? And then also parenthood. Light spoilers. Kelly Marie Tran's character has second thoughts eventually about kids when she's drunk, and she tells Lily Gladstone, what if we took the money and traveled with it? Lily's like, okay, you're drunk, but no, like I thought you wanted to have, like, we want to have a family. We wanted to so I thought that was all really well done. I was just surprised by how not that funny it was, but I still give it 4 stars, and I still really enjoyed it. I want Kelly Marie Tran and Lily Gladstone to star in more things. I'm glad, for me, this was, as a fan of them, this was a big win because of what they've been, because of the last big projects. They kind of got the short end of the stick in a way. I'm glad Lily did well that award season. She didn't win the Oscar. It went to Emma Stone for Poor Things, which
Mhm.
I get it. It's a great film, great performance. But yeah, I definitely want to see Lily Gladstone and Kelly Marie Tran star in more things because they're great. They're really talented.
Mm. Yeah, they are. And there's a lot of crying in this movie. There's a lot of that kind of going on there. Characters storming off, characters arguing with each other. You see a lot of that. And it's just just life, and these characters kind of living it, and kind of sometimes the harsh reality of that. And it being a movie, they're focusing on gay characters there, and like I said, it has that kind of presence of there of the family that isn't accepting, and then you also have that contrast there with Joan Chin's character, who she's a super ally. She got an S on her chest. You know what I mean? Like she even at the beginning of the movie, she wins an award for how great of an ally she is to LGBTQ people. And you see later on in the movie that of like it's kind of an overcompensation there of why she is kind of so really that rah rah with LGBTQ
Yeah,
people, and it's kind of in a way she kind of failed her daughter with that. And there's a lot of moments with that, and
yeah, because it
and
wasn't always the case.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't always the case. She wasn't always supported by when she first came out. She didn't have her mom's love or support.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of great moments with them. Those are probably some of my favorite moments in the movie there, between the two of them. And yeah, just the relationship between, kind of all four of the main kind of cast, these two couples there and trying to work through their things. I think that was pretty interesting to watch as well there. And to see like with Yang and his relationship there of, do I really want this? Do I not? They've been together, I think they say what, for 5 years or
Yeah, yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
And then it's like, okay, but and then it's kind of like, okay, the shit will get off the pot. I mean, what you doing here? At this point, and it also kind of doesn't make any sense because it's like, um, the fact that they even live in that garage, because like he's got money and he works for his family's company in
mm,
America, and they're in Seattle. So I don't know why. I mean, I get rent in Seattle is expensive, but you got enough money. It seems like to live
yeah,
a much better place
yeah.
than that. I don't know why they're living there, but okay.
He's trying to
Um,
stay humble.
I guess so. I guess that's the way you do it there. Maybe it feels cozy. I guess you know what I mean. I guess it feels like that. So I really like that in the movie, and when it the movie doesn't really go because I've never seen the 1993 film, so I don't know how much
Mhm.
they deal with a lot of the shenanigans of oh, I'm going to go through this marriage with this woman, and we're going to do all these comedy of errors, and what I mean, trying to keep up the facade of that. But
Mhm.
here they don't really do it that long. Really, to
Yeah,
be honest, they cut halfway through the movie. They're just like, okay, listen, the grandmother shows up. She's not stupid. She's like, all right, something weird. What's happening? And they kind of just break it down. And it kind of gets, like I said, it doesn't really waste time a lot with that stuff there.
yeah.
There's still some funny moments in the movie, I think, that still work and still do
Mhm.
a good job there. But like I said, if you're expecting more of a comedy, you're gonna be in more for a drama there. What do you think?
Yeah. And it did remind me a little bit of Crazy Rich Asians, where a big issue was because the grandma in this film asks like one of her first questions is who's her family, like does she come from wealth, like is she on our level, like because in Crazy Rich Asians that was a big point of contention, like well who's her family, oh she's an average Joe, oh then she's a gold digger, no it's genuine love, but she's not part of this crazy rich Asian world. She's a teacher at a university in America. She doesn't, so just that cultural parallel, it does matter to them, in that culture. Um, you know, are they like us? Do they come from wealth, or are they, you know, lower tier? Not like us. So, I, that point that stood out to me for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, and it's a large ensemble cast of Asian people without Michelle Yeoh. So
Yeah,
you got that kind of going on. And I love Michelle Yeoh. I love Michelle Yeoh. I love her, but
yeah.
yeah, it's like dang, man, it feels like what's a black actor that you could compare that to? Like always, like anytime there's a black film, you always see this black actor.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
He's
Michelle Yeoh is
he's in
Samuel L.
everything.
Jackson.
He's in
So
everything.
yeah. But I thought this film, as sad as it is, I thought it was still delightful. Um,
Yeah, that ending was crazy.
yeah, it was a little bit of a
The,
wild
the,
ending.
I'm like, wait, so how does this work? Who y'all? One of you have three parents. Like, like what? Like, I don't know who, but I haven't done the math yet. But that's a funky family tree.
I mean, they're gonna do a lot of explaining when the kid gets older. Yeah,
Seriously, yeah,
you're gonna have to
like,
do a lot of explaining there.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what will be your final thoughts and rating for a wedding banquet?
Um, yeah, just the trailer was a little misleading. I thought it was gonna be like a Seth Rogen type of comedy, like not quite Joyride, but like a really kind of like I guess a raunchy comedy. I was expecting, but it was very mature, and very relatable for people, you know my generation, who early 30s, and you know making their way, still figuring it out. Millennials, that generation. Um, so yeah, in that regard, I really enjoyed it, and it was again great to see. Um, oh, I need the names. I don't want to keep saying the grandma and the mom from, yeah. Let's
Joan
see,
Chen and
Joan Chen and Yuh-jung. Yeah, uh, seeing them again is great. I also want to see them in more things. Um, you know, I love Michelle Yeoh, but which is why I love Everything Ever All at Once. It was so different from her always playing the regal matriarch of the family.
mm,
Whether if it's Crazer's Asians, Shang Chi, or even Crouching Tiger, she's always playing this regal, poised character. So playing something so drastically different was great to see. But I would love to see Joan Chen in more things, and Yu Jung in more things, because they're great.
mm.
So I gave it 4 stars. It it wasn't so basic. I'd give it 3.5, because if it was okay but kind of basic, I give it 3.5. But like if it was good, if I'm like, no, that was good, I liked it, I give it 4 stars. That's what 4 stars means to me. 5 stars is just like I'm blown away. But I give it 4 stars because I liked it. Yeah, I have no complaints. It's a great, also great runtime. It's like an hour and 40 something minutes.
Mm.
It's great. So what is it again? You have like cinema,
Uh, and then peak. So you
and
would
then
give it 4 stars peak.
so what's below peak?
Tune in.
Tune in.
Okay. So you want to give it like a high tune in?
A high tune in. Yeah, high tune
Okay.
in. Yeah, no. It's not peak. No. It's good. I liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So you give it a high tune in. Strong tune
High tune in. Check it out. As I said on TikTok, if you're in the mood for something mildly triggering because it's so relatable, uh, check out The Wedding Banquet.
in.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, I'd be right there. Maybe not a high tune in, but a good tune in. I think with this movie, I
yeah,
think you win for some good times and good performances from the actors. Like this stage in people's lives, these 30 kind of somethings there, trying to live life, trying to figure things out there. With that, I think that was good to see. I think that's always kind of good to see there, to see on screen, and it's some good moments in here. I mean, dramatically from the actors, and some good scenes in here that'll stick with me. There, especially that scene with Joan Chen and Kelly Tran on the bathroom floor, like that was, I thought, a kind of a good scene there as well, strong scene, and the scene at the dinner table as well. Um, yeah, so it's a solid movie, and I just give it a tune in for me. Go check it out if you can in theaters now. The Wedding Banquet. All right.